Hello! I arrive. I am here. Can I control my duck? No, I can only quack.
I think that's it. I think we just clack at each other.
I think we just quack. Your first question is did you accept the invite?
Oh, the invite for an interview?
Yeah.
Oh, cause I I don't know. it's it's I've never been interviewed before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't usually do anything on a Monday other than chores,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know.
Oh,
Seemed interesting. You seemed nice. I was a little weary because like the date lining up for this is just
yeah.
like.
I didn't realize till after. It's like, oh no, I hope they don't think I'm pulling their chain because I'm not.
But then I was like, oh, okay, we have a mutual friend. Okay, all right. Then
Mm.
it's like you're probably.
The next question is, what do you do?
What do I do? What don't I do at this point? Uh, I oh God, I do streaming, digital art. Um, I now do graphic design as well. I've done
Ooh,
a few logos.
that's cool.
Um, emotes, stickers. I paint 3D models for other VTubers sometimes, or just like other furries in general. I
Mm-hmm.
convert those models for streamers. I have a perfectly normal amount of 3D models. It's definitely not in the triple digits. Don't look at me.
Absolutely not. Look, I understand. I have this thing where if I find something I like, I tend to collect a lot of it, even if it's just
Yeah.
images and files. So I have a lot of useless files that I'm just like, ooh,
Yeah.
pretty.
Don't look at my Mothman collection. Don't look at my Mothman collection. It's
I won't.
fine.
It sounds,
Um,
a Mothman collection sounds great.
Mothman. Uh,
He's a cool
no,
little
like
guy.
I have so many 3D models, and a lot of them I don't actually use. Like
Mm-hmm.
before, I did like a soft rebrand for streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my previous stream Sona thing was a protogen who could like shapeshift into other things because I thought that was neat or whatever.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Um. It it was great, but it was also like it was a lot to keep up with, and I just wasn't happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. Why do you do what you do?
Oh, it's not a happy reason.
Mm.
I do streaming because and we've talked a little bit about this before. I have scoliosis.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've had scoliosis at least documented since I was a toddler
Ugh.
living in another country.
Wow.
I
That's
have a
rough.
very, very, very long life story, and I'm 26. Uh, uh, but along with scoliosis, like I had scarlet fever,
Mm.
which the long-term effect of that is like you're essentially immunocompromised and you're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, hence why I got strep throat almost every single year I was in middle school and high school.
Ugh. That would explain a lot.
Sometimes more than once a year.
Uh, fun.
Yeah. Um, and like a lot of other health problems and like mental disabilities and like learning disabilities and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the government won't acknowledge it
Hmm.
because a lot of my medical documentation is from out of country or
Oh.
different states, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like they don't want to acknowledge it. Every time I go to get seen and like, hey, I I struggle with like literal living and like day-to-day tasks. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
do you actually? And it's like,
Do you actually though? It's like, yes! Please believe
yeah,
me!
yeah.
Ugh, that's so
Yeah.
infuriating. I'm sorry.
So, yeah, so streaming is like the only job that I can like hold down to a degree.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you make things?
do I make things? Do
Yes.
I make things? Oh god, what don't I make? Um, if it wasn't my literal inability to afford uh physical like machinery or
Mm-hmm.
supplies and stuff, I would have a sewing machine and I
Ooh.
would be a menace.
Ooh.
I have a button maker that's in a box that I have never used.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have the space for it.
Mm.
Um, but
Mm-hmm.
do I make things? I make other people into VTubers. Like I make them models. I've taken several commissions where I just straight up design people OCs because it's like, oh, I have this idea, but I can't draw, and I'm like,
I do.
grabby hands, grabby hands. Hi, hello. That is
I'm
ninety
here.
percent of like what I like fascinated over. Like, um,
Oh, I love that. The next question is, why do you really make things?
what? uh, to escape from reality, to ignore the not greatness of my current situation, to entertain others and hope that they keep me around longer and find me interesting, um, to I guess kind of ease the symptoms of being schizophrenic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, side note, I'm schizophrenic.
Alright, that's fine.
Things. I make things because like I want I mean, especially with my current project, it's like there are a lot of hard themes and a lot of hard stories.
Who is someone you like? And I mean that in a way of like, who is someone you find cool, neat, or interesting? Who is someone you just like?
Someone I just like. Um hmm. I mean, god, that's a long list of people. Like off the top of my head, I can name like a bunch of the cast from Dimension 20.
Mm.
Um Oddly a decent amount of dungeon masters for
Hmm.
D&D.
Interesting.
There's probably nothing there. Don't worry about that. Um, I guess Doki Bird. She used to be Selen Tatsuki of Nijisan
Mm-hmm.
GEN.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I've got like a bunch of furry friends as well that I'm just like, you are cool and you have done some amazing things, and I'm like, oh, like Pixel, my friend
Mm-hmm.
Pixel, literally cannot stop making games and concepts for games, and like he
Wow.
loves making tabletop games, and he recently revamped his old Kobold tabletop project, and it's so good now. Um,
Wow. That's incredible.
yeah, um, it's and then like my partners. Oh god, I love my partners. Um, one of my partners is a lot like me, and it's like we just kind of like sit and talk about our OCs for like hours on end. Um,
Lovely. I
one of
love
my
that.
partners is a clown,
Mm.
and is the only IRL clown that I am not like afraid of. Yeah.
So, what about this group of people do you like about them? Like, what
Um,
what is a through line between all these different cases?
all of them have created stuff that I enjoy. A lot of them are hard stories, like with the Monami Park team and Slime Rancher. That's a
Mm-hmm.
love story,
Mm-hmm.
but it
It
is
is.
also a story about like picking up and like leaving everything to go do something that is very hard. you leave behind everything, including a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, the Dimension 20 team, like I'm currently going through Fantasy High junior year. Um, oh god, oh no,
Oh
my
no.
heart. Oh
Oh.
god. Oh. But like, and every I haven't watched all of the Dimension 20 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But even like with Critical Role and all that, it's like these are characters going through hard times.
Yeah.
A lot of them are maybe inadvertently like disabled. Like they're not originally like, oh, like I've planned it, like this character is like disabled because I've planned that about this character. It's, you know, something is, it's just how the actors play them, like the
Mm-hmm.
players play them.
Yeah.
And it definitely helps me because I had, aside from like one friend from one of my high schools, this was a Christian school, by the way. I
Mm.
temporarily went to a Christian private school. That was a nightmare.
Oh
I got
dear.
kicked out for being gay.
Oh no.
Yeah, but
I'm glad you're not there
this,
anymore.
yeah, this one friend, the only friend I have from that school, is agender, aromantic, and asexual.
Nice.
Uh, and that was the only representation I had of that
Mm-hmm.
until until Fantasy High, and it was just like, oh,
This is how it's supposed to be.
oh, wait, hold on, that, oh, too much
Oh
of this
no.
character speaks to me. Riz Gut Gak, what the fuck? Um,
Oh no, are you leaving again? No. Okay, you're stuck here with me. Good.
yay, yay,
Hi.
hello, shiny,
Hello.
hello. You're so shiny.
What do you like about yourself? Dunk.
That is a really hard one, because it's like, I've always had self-esteem issues growing up,
Mm-hmm.
and they got a lot worse when, like, because I went through puberty real early, like,
Mm.
really early.
Mm-hmm.
Medically, we should have gotten that checked out more.
Mm.
But, the minute it started happening, like, it was like, that hate of change kicked in a little bit more of like, oh, my everything is changing, my everything hurts.
Mm-hmm.
This is awful, actually.
I don't
This
like
isn't what I
this.
wanted to do. Yeah, it's like, I don't like this. I don't like
Yeah.
this at all. No, come on. Okay, I'll stop. I'll say nicer things about myself. I'm sorry.
Just one thing.
Um. I'm curious. I'm very. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that is what I like about myself. I'm curious, and like, I try very hard to keep an open mind because like I've lived in a lot of different countries.
Mm-hmm.
I traveled around a lot as a kid. Um, I had to try things that I did like and the things that I didn't like, but other people did like.
Mm-hmm.
And like new experiences and stuff, and it was like a bit of it was definitely forced upon me, like the curiosity of like, you have to try this or like you're
Mm-hmm.
going to be in trouble, and it's like, oh well, it's
Yeah.
usually food related, and it's usually like, you know, seafood, because my family loved seafood.
Yeah.
But I try to stay open to trying new things, and that's how I recently learned that, oh wait, I do actually like strawberries.
Ooh, strawberries are great.
I just really need to practice moderation, or I will get
Uh,
real sick of strawberries real fast.
that's always the trick. Oh, this is another hard one. What about yourself inspires you?
Um, that's a really hard one, because like, I will admit that a lot of my characters are based on either my perceptions of situations
Mhm.
or like things about myself,
Mhm.
um, or like my perceptions of people that I have met.
Mhm.
That is what inspires a lot of my work. Um,
Okay.
which is why a lot of my characters don't have happy stories.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Um, I wouldn't say that I am ever inspired by myself. I'm never like astounded by my own like work or anything. Like I
Mhm.
recently did I literally finished this last night. I recently finished a commission where I tried some background elements and it was like, okay, cool. This is something that I can do.
Mhm.
It was nothing too far outside my usual wheelhouse,
Mhm.
but it was fundamentally different. And I was
Yeah.
still like, okay, yeah, this is something that I just absolutely should have been doing this whole time. Like,
Mhm.
what the fuck past me? Um,
What were you doing?
yeah. Sorry, that's a bad habit that I picked up from Homestuck of all the damn places of yelling at past Tori, yelling at future Tori,
uh, good
having to
all.
straight up sonas for both of those things.
No, that's fine. That checks out.
It's easier to be mad at someone else.
It's easier to cast blame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um yeah. I wouldn't say I'm ever like inspired by like my own things or anything. It's like I don't know.
Okay.
Mm,
What about your journey?
my journey.
Your journey
Uh
through life.
oh, oof.
I mean, well, we could say technically your journey has inspired a lot of your OCs,
Yeah,
even if they might not be happy ones.
yeah. Um I I think the only thing I'm really proud of myself with my entire journey is I survived a very bad homeless shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Um I couldn't tell you how many years ago it is. I have no sense of time
Mm-hmm.
anymore.
That's
I just
okay.
know that I graduated in 2016, and I went to high school for 5 years. That's
Nice.
all I can tell you.
Good enough.
Um, but yeah, before I lived here, I had a previous. I lived with my housemate's daughter and her at the time husband and their kid.
Mm,
And before that, I was in a homeless shelter.
mm,
And I think that is the only thing that's like, okay, if I can get through that, I can get through a lot of other bad things.
mm-hmm.
Because they would refuse me my medication.
Ugh.
They refused, like, they were specifically a homeless shelter that had, like, dedicated access to a medical group down in, like, kind of the Miami area.
Yeah.
Um, and they refused to get me like medical treatment for some of my things.
Mm,
I already knew I was transgender at the time. I just didn't realize that I'm like non-binary. It's like, oh, I think
mm-hmm.
I want to be a guy, and then I was like, oh wait, hold on, shit, there's other options. Oh, there's other options. Oh, there's no option at all. Oh, I'll take that one.
I'll
I'll
take
take a
that one.
serving of that, thank you. Um,
A big ol' helping of that, please and thank you.
oh yeah. Um, during that time, they like most of the dinners there were food that I couldn't eat. And they all
Mm.
chalked it up to me being like, "Oh, stupid white person that can't like handle like spicy foods or whatever." And it's like, "No,
Uh,
some of this food is genuinely like undercooked. It is bad." And of course, I didn't realize it at the time. I was immunocompromised. So
mm-hmm.
like I'm very sensitive to like food that has gone off.
Yeah.
Um milk even like a few hours after it expires, it's like nope, nope, if I drink that I will be out for like a week.
Ugh.
um but
That's,
they didn't want to listen. um
oh, that's super
and
frustrating.
yeah, and so I ended up eventually just like, well, it's not worth it to get out of bed because we all had our own rooms. Like this was like
Mm-hmm.
this wasn't a homeless shelter, it was an institution. You could not microwave a burrito in the middle of the night. um
Mm.
uh but it was eventually to the point of like I just didn't bother getting out of bed.
Yeah.
And I would come down for snack that would happen after dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And that was usually like a thing of cookies or an apple and a
Mm-hmm.
glass of milk. And that is all I subsisted on most days of the week for about 6 months.
Yikes.
The only other
Yeah.
time I would get to eat is if I was going over to a friend's house nearby. They were these two vegan brothers, and they could cook so fucking good. Uh,
Wonderful.
oh god, I loved their food. Um,
I'm glad you had
that
them.
was that was the only other time I would get to really eat.
Yeah. I think I'd stay in bed too. That sounds miserable.
Yeah, like
Well,
yeah, that is the only thing I'm like really proud of in my journey is I got through that.
yeah. Next question is, how do you react in uncomfortable situations?
Um, it depends on the uncomfortable situation. Sometimes I'll try and hide,
Mm-hmm.
um, especially in like big social situations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, even in my house, like in my current living situation, like the big like thing that we don't talk about is I'm leaving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaving. I hate it here. I hate this house, and I hate like my housemates like inaction and all of that, and I hate
Mm-hmm.
this town, and I hate my neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like I just kind of hide in my room, and I just kind of like always like make it seem like I'm working, which my husband knows what my job is, so he just kind of assumes I am always working. Uh, so that works out. But if it's like a situation that I am unable to escape from, like a more personal situation,
Mm-hmm.
I either try to make a joke or I apologize. Oh
Oh!
no!
Oh no!
Oh
Where are
no!
you going?
Oh!
Where are
Oh!
you
Oh!
going? To the
I guess
ocean!
I'm escaping from
To the
this awkward
sea!
situation! If it's a situation where it's like, oh, I truly do value my like relationship with this person, or oh, I've definitely fumbled this somehow, I will
Mm-hmm.
just apologize even if I don't understand what I'm apologizing for.
Mm-hmm.
I will feel immensely guilty. Um, the worst is when I've made an awkward situation, but I don't recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst, because it's like, oh, why is everyone acting weird all of a sudden?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh no, it
hmm.
was me, wasn't it? Oh
Yeah.
no. Yeah, that is awful. When was the last time you were validated?
Validated in like a way that I actually genuinely felt validated, or someone was like, oh yeah, no, your efforts and like I see you and you're amazing and wonderful, like that. Uh,
Either or. I think I know the way, for me personally, genuinely feeling validated is rough, even though a lot of people do send validation my way.
yeah.
Even though I send validation my way, I still don't feel it, and that's really rough. So it's really up to you how you want to answer.
No, I'm the same way. It's like I have someone in I have someone in Discord who has the tendency to like send me like hug emotes or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or like um just like I have another person who comes in my chat
Mm-hmm.
and like just sends these really sweet messages of you're doing amazing. I am so proud of you. I'm so glad you're here. You're my favorite streamer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, listen here, you little shit. You'll make me cry because I genuinely can't believe you. But
Yeah.
it's nice that you say that anyways.
Yeah.
Um, but it's
Next question is, who are you?
who am I?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the internet knows me as Tori. Tori is actually my chosen middle name.
Oh, I like that. That's cute.
Originally, it was gonna be my chosen name. because I chose that back in early high school, probably freshman year. Um, and it was like all of my
propeller
friends were
hat.
like, yeah. All of my friends at the time were like, "Oh, that's too femme. Like, if you wanted something more gender neutral." And I was like, "All right, fuck you." And I was playing through Pokemon Emerald at the time, and there's a character named Riley on Iron Island. He's really cool, has a Lucario, one of my favorite characters, never shows up again.
Oh, that's a shame.
My chosen name is his name misspelled. It's Riley.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like that.
But, God, who am I? I'm just some dumb, sick ferret on the internet, truthfully.
Why ferret?
I don't know. I got assigned ferret. I was just chilling, and all of a sudden, like, a bunch of my friends and my community were just like, you know, that's kind of ferret behavior. And I'm like, what? And they're like,
what
yeah,
did I do?
yeah, Tori's a ferret. And I'm just like, what?
Okay, I guess.
Hello? And it just kind of stuck.
Outside of race, gender, and career, how would you describe yourself?
I don't know how I would describe myself. I've never really been able to do it, but it's... Yeah, yeah, I am here.
Well, I appreciate your existence.
I'm sorry, I'm bad at answers.
It's okay. Look, it's fine. That's the kind of whole point of this. There's no right or wrong. There's no correct answer. It's just you. Thank you for being yourself.
Yeah.
What is something that scares you?
I think my biggest fear is... How do I put this without this sounding, like, really fucked up? In a lot of my, like, stories and stuff, I paint humanity and humans as the villain, and there's a reason for that. Besides the fact that humanity has a terrible track record as a whole. Human nature, when a large group of people feel fear or threatened, and decide to take action on that fear as a group, humanity.
It gets scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that.
I don't have faith in humanity. I have faith in individuals.
Okay.
There is not a whole lot that is scarier than when people are afraid. A large group of people are afraid.
What is the hardest thing you've ever had to overcome?
Okay, so the reason I graduated, like, it took me 5 years to graduate, was I was allowed to repeat 10th grade because I started school a year early when I lived in Switzerland.
Okay.
That's a whole thing. I was in California at the time when I was at that private school that I got kicked out of for being gay. And also having dyed hair, but more for being gay. And I was going to see a therapist at the time, and she was the stupidest fucking bitch I can ever think of.
I hate that. I hate when therapists don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, like, she liked me because she thought I was an easy client, when the reality was I would not open up to her, and I had nowhere to physically hide in her room. There's a lot of times where I look back at an experience and go, how the fuck did we not realize I was autistic sooner? I literally, for my first 2 therapists, I sat in the corner. My second therapist, like, I sat underneath one of the desks in her room. Like, God. But this third therapist, when I was living in California and going to that private school, she made the stupid motherfucking suggestion. I'm sorry, I hate this bitch.
Sorry?
She made the stupid suggestion that I go live with my bio mom. Because up until that point, I had been living with my maternal grandparents, and my bio mom had come to visit me literally twice.
Mm.
She never called or anything, and like in my head I had built up this person who loved me unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
Um and then I was like a little clone of her because I spent like one summer with her
Yeah.
um in
I mean, that's
late
kind of
middle school.
also what our culture teaches us, that your parents, your bio parents, are like the most important things ever, and that they always
Yeah,
love you when that's not the case.
yeah. I am one of the reasons several schools I went to stopped using the term parents and
Mm.
started adding parents or guardians,
Mm-hmm.
because I would have to go and be like to the teacher and be like, "Hey, I don't have parents.
Uh.
I'm not adopted. I'm not being fostered. I live with my grandparents. My
Mm-hmm.
parents are not in the picture. Like, can I still get this signed?"
Yeah.
And then there'd be a whole thing of, "Well, shit, I don't know." Ugh,
That's
really
frustrating.
painful. Um, but she suggested that I go live with my bio mom.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so we packed up my shit and I moved out there, and at first things were really good, and like she was kind of hard on me because it was like I was not motivated to be in school or in high school
Mm-hmm.
at all.
Yeah.
um in fact, while I was living in California, I had suggested that, hey, I should probably just test out of high school. The test is easier to pass, and
Mm.
like truly I don't think anyone cares if you get a GED. I don't think anyone
No,
cares
not
now
really.
anyways.
No, they
um
still don't. I have a GED, and I still have a
yeah,
bachelor's in psychology. Like, it does not matter.
I wanted to test out of high school. I didn't care about the social aspect. I didn't care about walking across the stage. I actively did not want to.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care about prom. I didn't care about homecoming. I wasn't allowed to take any more art classes because I accidentally did them my first year of high school.
Oh no! That's
Yeah.
that's rough.
I kept having to retake language classes because I went to 3 different high schools, and my
Mm-hmm.
first high school had German.
Mm-hmm.
So ich spreche auf Deutsch a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my second school did not recognize that language credit, and so they made me take ASL, um, which I don't remember any of that.
Uh.
Um, and my third school was just like, we see you have language credits from 2 different languages that we do not offer here. And I was like, if you make me retake this,
I will riot.
understand I will riot, and I will do my best to speak some combination of Japanese, French, and German in your Spanish class. And side note, I minorly know Canadian French.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
um, but yeah, no, like she was hard on me at first, and like when I transferred in, like they couldn't give me any classes because it was halfway through the school year. So they
Mm-hmm.
put me in a shit ton of study halls.
Mm.
So I slept a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Um, and she started like getting really hard on me and really angry with me, and I'm just like, what do you expect me to do? I don't actually have class.
Yeah.
Um, and then I
It's
entered
not
my
really
senior
your
year.
fault.
Yeah. And my senior year, she
Mm-hmm.
started getting physically violent. Yeah. Oof.
I'm glad you survived it. Thank you for continuing to exist.
Yeah. I was real spiteful after that. Like, I just
I
tried
believe you.
starving us.
What frustrates you the most about life?
Um, the lie that if you work hard enough, anything is possible.
Yeah, that's tough.
Throughout, like, middle school is when it started getting tough because like I was falling behind on schoolwork because I didn't understand. Um, it's not that I didn't understand the material, unless it was math, and I truly did not understand.
Yeah.
But it was more of a case of I thought I was doing what everyone else was doing. Why wasn't I also successful? What was
Mm.
I doing differently? What was I doing wrong
Mm-hmm.
that everyone else was doing right?
Yeah.
Um, and I never got the answer to that growing up. The truth of the
Yeah.
matter is I was doing everything right.
The
No
system
one
just
taught me how
failed
to
you.
study. Yeah, I went through, oh god, I changed schools at least 7 or 8 times.
That's a lot.
In different countries that use
Mm-hmm.
different measurement systems that have different, like, educational standards.
Mm-hmm.
I missed out on a lot, and it's just like I fell through those gaps and no one was there to help me. My biggest frustration is you can't do anything if you try hard enough. Everyone has their limitations.
What excites you the most?
I like space. I like trains. I don't know shit about trains, but I like trains.
The trains. They're
I
cool.
like video games. I like colors. I like animals. I like a combination of colors and animals. I like character design. I love like picking apart animation.
Mm.
I love learning new things. Oh my god, that was the worst part about school was I loved learning new shit, but I didn't want to do any of the homework because the busy work wasn't actually like teaching me shit.
Yeah.
I like I love meeting new people and like learning about different perspectives on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um uh fuck, what else? I find so much comfort in knowing that the heat death of the universe is inevitable and like we're never going to make like a galactic impact on anything.
Yeah.
And we're all just gonna return to Stardust someday. Technology is fucking crazy,
Oh,
y'all.
it's cool.
Like,
It's going
it
places.
hurts my wallet so much.
Yeah.
Like VR, like oh my god, like just the body euphoria from being in VR chat for several hours,
Mm.
or even just in VR games in general, because it's like, oh well, I can just play in seated mode. My
Yeah.
actual like physical ability doesn't totally matter.
Why did you agree to the game we are playing?
Because this is like okay. Usually when I'm talking with other people or like I'm on stream, I'm doing like 8 different things at once.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is one of the few things where it's like, okay, if I'm doing this and talking to another person, I'm not gonna also be trying to draw and like, you know, and then like scroll through my VTuber Twitter and like
Mm-hmm.
look through my emails, which I have to do later,
Mm-hmm.
and like all of that shit. I never stop. This
Mm-hmm.
is the only thing that I was like, if we do this, I will be able to focus on giving you good answers.
What is something you are proud of?
I will say my art has definitely like rapidly improved over the past few years that I've been doing like commissions and stuff.
Nice.
I'm just now truly really noticing it. When I see commissions from like 2021 and then I go,
Mm-hmm.
oh no, God,
I
oh
could
dear.
do so much better than that.
No, and then I look at my prices and I go, oh, what the fuck passed me? Yeah, like my art has so greatly improved, and just the ability of things that I am able to do, like emotes, overlays, logos, and like painting 3D models. Like this is the shit that I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do I offer too many things? Maybe. Don't worry about it. I think the only other thing I can think of is that I'm really proud that I can like live with myself most of the time.
Yeah. Seems
Like,
like that took a lot of work.
oh yeah, I had a lot of self-hate. There was a brief point in time where I actually genuinely believed in God, and I like prayed and asked for a sign of like what is wrong with me? Like, can you either like kill me or can I wake up in the body of a boy? And I didn't know what transgender was at the time, by the way.
What's your most prized possession and why?
That would have to be Snuffles.
Yeah.
Snuffles is a little white polar bear plushie. I
Aw.
got him in second-ish grade. We were living in Georgia at the time, and we were at the yacht club on one of the lakes. Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier, that's where it was. And oh yeah, I also grew up on a boat half the time. We spent a lot of summers on the boat.
Nice.
40-foot Catalina.
Woo.
I hated it at the time, miss it to death now.
Ah.
Um, but someone at that yacht club on that dock gave me Snuffles. At the time, I named him Snowy, and he is one of the few things I still have from like childhood. Like a lot of my current stuffed animals are things that I bought after I graduated high school. If something happened to Snuffles, like I don't sleep with Snuffles anymore because he's very old.
Yeah.
He's
A little fragile.
pretty dirty. He's not, I wouldn't say he's fragile, but he's definitely losing fur. But he's very dirty, as our washing machine cannot handle stuffed animals. If something happened to Snuffles, I would be very upset. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. How do you take care of yourself? If you do at all.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so
It's
sorry.
okay. It's alright.
That is another reason why I can't live alone, is I really can't take care of myself. I have the inability to form habits.
Oh, yeah.
The only habit that I can, like, kind of keep, is showering. At least once a week. Only, like, once a week right now. Usually more if I have, like, access to it. But, like, once a week now, because it's like, there's one shower in this house that is serviceable. And it's in my housemate's bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a little tough.
So I can only shower when he's not home. And other than that, it's just like I'm working all the time.
Yeah.
Other ways I take care of myself. I buy the huge ass packs of hot dogs. Because not only are those like really easy for me to heat up, and it's like, okay, well that's protein. I'm not smart, and I tend to, like, if we have sugar, I tend to go a little overboard sometimes.
Yeah.
And I will sugar crash. So my cheat is if I eat like any sugar, like if I eat too much sugar and then I realize, oh fuck, that's definitely too much sugar, I just go and I eat a hot dog, and then like it's well, I'll be fine for the most part.
Nice. Yeah. Next question is, when are you the happiest?
Smaller hangouts usually, like anywhere from like 1 to like maybe 5 at max other people, unless I know a lot of them already. And we're like doing something or hanging out or playing a game, or like we're all like parallel play doing stuff, body doubling off of each other maybe.
Yeah. Last question. Who would you want to see interviewed next?
I can think of a couple of people, like Tavi. Tavi is really nice. Pixel Butts. He's the friend that I made that introduced me to all of these other people, and then his headset broke from VR chat. And,
oh no!
Yeah, and then it was kind of like I'm left to fend for myself, and he won't stop talking about me to every one of his other friends, and they all know me, and it's terrifying. I love him.
Anyway, well, thank you for being here. Thank you for answering my questions. That's the last of it. That's the last one.
This was fun!
I'm going to move us over to this screen. Hello! I'm glad this was fun.
Yeah!
I'm going to address the invisible audience now. Hello. Hi. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for being here, and thank you for watching. If you like any of the stuff that we talked about today with Tori, then you probably would enjoy Tori Floop. So where can they find you, Tori?
On most websites, it is Tori Floop. I'm not on TikTok. Usually on Twitch. I'm really getting into YouTube with like YouTube Shorts and stuff. I'm not active on Tory Flute Twitter, but I'm semi-active on Blue Sky, or if you search up Railty, spelled Raeltai. Yeah, it's
Cool.
also me.
Nice. Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you again for being here. Thank you for putting yourself through my questions. I appreciate it. And
Yeah.
I hope you take care of yourself for the rest of today. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'll see you around. I have to remember how I usually close this out. I think it's just I think that's it. Most of your stuff will be in the description below. And yeah. Thank you again, Invisible Audience, for being here. Take care of yourselves,
Yeah.
and we'll see you around. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.